Hi everybody, it's me again, and whoops, that isn't what I want. Let's try this one. I want to record a couple of problems here. It's on page 239 in our text. It's exercise 6-6, and it has an allocation. It's a problem with allocations. Apex company, and they've got a bunch of costs here, and they want to allocate between the sales department and the administration department. And what they say is these costs are assigned to two cost pools, one for fixed and one for variable costs. The costs are then assigned to the sales department and administration department. Fixed costs are assigned to go on a lump sum basis, 40% to sales, 60% to administration, and the variable costs are assigned at a rate of 2 cents per copy. So based on that, you've got we've got 40% to sales, 60% administration. The number of copies is 2.5 million and 2,300,000. And here's the cost that they show. They show on the page there 100,000 for salaries, and that is to get allocated 40% to sales, 60% to administration. This is also, when it comes down to employee benefits, is also 40% to sales and 60% to administration. Depreciation is allocated the same way, 40 and 60%. You come down to utilities, that's also based on sales. Then we get to the paper is 1 cent per copy, and we've got 2.5 million copies up there for sales, and so that's $25,000. And it's also 23,000 over here in administration. Have the same number in the toner copies. So the total cost of the sales is 101,000, and the other is 122,500. And so the total total cost for these combined departments is $223,500. Now that's a relatively easy one into how to allocate costs. Now I wanted to go on to another on page 242, and it's 6.1, problem 6.1. Let's go to that. Problem 6.1. We've got two departments, the software department and the consulting department. Software has 375 employees, consulting has 125. Space occupied, software, they each have 20,000 square feet. And the number of employees is benefits is 2.5 million. Rent is 1 million. Telecommunications is 500,000. And the total G&A is $3 million. So the total of all those costs to be allocated are $7 million here. So now down below, we've got software. 15 million in sales for software, 8 million for consulting. That's $23 million. So direct cost is 6 million to software, 4 million to consulting, 10 million. So now here's the allocated cost, which is what we're working with. We got the head count. Okay? Head count is allocated on the number of employees. So for software, we're going to take 375 employees over 500, and then multiply that by $2.5 million to come up with a cost here of $1,875,000. We do the same thing over here for consulting, and we come up with 625, so that's the total of $2.5 million. We do the same thing with telecommunication costs. That's based on head count. We do so the allocations is going to be done the exact same way. So we have 375 here for software and 125,000 for consulting, for a total of $500,000. Now rent, that's based on space available. Well, it's $1 million, 20,000 square feet for each one of them. So they split that cost of it's 500,000 apiece. And then G&A expense, they said, is based on sales. So let's see. We got the total 3 million of G&A. Sales is 15 million for software, and that is divided by $23 million, and then that gets the product of that is multiplied by 3 million to come up with $1,956,522 for software. And the same, we come up with the number of $1,043,478 for consulting the same way. So we got total allocated costs to the software, 4.7 million, 2.3 million to consulting, and the total of those two is $7 million, which is what we were to allocate. So the income before taxes is down below here. So you can see this is one of the ways we allocate the costs of these departments. Thank you. I'll see you.